Hello guys, I hope you are doing well. It's once more the professor. We are doing a small work here in the streets of St. Petersburg. And in this video today, I want to talk about the top universities in Russia, some of the top universities in Russia, and which university do you want to choose if you want to come to Russia? Because a lot of people are confusing and misunderstanding the system here. They think that since they want to study maybe, I don't know, let's say civil engineering, they will instead maybe choose a university in a big city. Even if it's a low university in a big city, they will prefer that over a top university in an average city. And that's what I want to make clear in this video, so that those who are willing to come should not make this type of error. So let us talk about the top universities in Russia. So number one university in Russia, you have the University of Moscow. University of Moscow Lomonosov. That's the number one university in Russia. Number two, you have the University of St. Petersburg. And the third university, I think, is another university in Moscow too. But I forgot the name. But what I want to mention here is that the first university is the University of Moscow, and the second is the University of St. Petersburg. Now, if you want to come to Russia to study, you need to choose a university that is renowned, that is known in your field of studies, instead of choosing a university in a big city that is not well known in that field of study. Let me explain. For example, if you want to study maybe, uh, let's say, uh, maybe civil engineering, or maybe software engineering, you want to study maybe software engineering, the best university to go to study software university, you have maybe a polytechnic which is very apt for you to study software engineering. Now, if you can go to a technical university, a polytechnic, in an average or small city, it will be better than going to maybe a low level university that has that field, because software engineering is present in a lot of university. So the best way would be to go to maybe a technical university that has that field, even if it is in an average city, as far as there are jobs present there for you to work, instead of choosing maybe a low class university here in St. Petersburg to study that. You better choose or an upper class university in another city that is average or low. You understand? Because a lot of people are confused. One girl contacted me. She wanted to come to study maybe medicine. She wanted to study medicine. She told me that she wanted to come to St. Petersburg. I told her that I gave her the course for medicine in St. Petersburg, and it was very expensive. Fine, and you. And so she wanted to study. I'm good, and you. I'm fine. So as I was saying, she she wanted to study medicine. I gave her the price because it's expensive here in St. Petersburg. I gave her the price. She said that no, I don't have this money. I told her that let us look for another city. She said no, 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 I want to come to St. Petersburg. Now the question comes: does she want to study, or does she want to come to St. Petersburg? That's the question. Because a lot of people, they don't even know what they are coming to do. If you want to choose a big city for work, of course there are jobs in big city, but there are also jobs in average and small cities. And it will be better for you to choose a very good university, even if it's a small city or an average city that match with your budget, than choosing maybe an average university here in St. Petersburg or Moscow, because you want to be in St. Petersburg or Moscow, just because you want to be there. So that's what I wanted to mention, because a lot of people that are working in Moscow and St. Petersburg, they came from other cities too. They finished the university in other cities. So the fact that you study in another city doesn't mean that in the future you cannot come to Moscow or St. Petersburg. So when choosing a university, don't just choose because you want to be in a city. Choose a university because that university is a good university. You understand? Don't just choose university because you want to come. If you want to study maybe civil engineering, it will be better for you to choose a top university in an average city, if you don't have the budget to come to a big city, that will be the good thing for you. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. So don't just choose city just to choose city, just because. Of course, if you come to a big city, it will be good, but if you don't have the budget, then what are you going to do? It will be better to choose another city that matches your budget, and you'll be able to pay the school fees there without any problem, instead of forcing yourself to come to a city because you are dreaming, you are seeing pictures on the internet. So that's what I wanted to talk in this video, to talk about in this video. So if you want to study, choose a good university in your field of studies. The optimal for maybe for studying uh, civil engineering in Russia, the optimal university will be a technical university, a a polytechnic, or a technical university. Polytechnic is the same as a technical university. A technical university or a civil engineering university, because in Russia there are universities specialized in civil engineering and architecture, either a polytechnic or a civil engineering university. These are the two universities. These are the two types of universities that are optimal for you to study maybe civil engineering. There are also other universities that are available for civil engineering, but in specific fields. For example, there are marine university. They have the field civil engineering, but that civil engineering is specialized in the construction of ports, not civil engineering buildings. You understand? And if you go there, you find yourself in very bad predicament. So, and maybe there are also, maybe I don't know, maybe aeronautical university, which will be specialized in the construction maybe of airports. But you will go there thinking, no, maybe it's in a good city, and the field of study is present, without knowing that civil engineering is not a civil engineering that you want to study. So be very careful when you are coming here. Or maybe in an in a university of agronomy, or in an. In fact, anyway, see you next. Ciao, ciao.